Good evening and welcome to the Wednesday, June 7th Town Board Legislative meeting. I would like the clerk to call this meeting to order, and will the clerk please call the roll?
Drawe.
Here.
Kohl.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Ockenden.
Here.
Thank you. And if you'd like to stand with me and for the Pledge of Allegiance, I think maybe Nathan, would you like to lead us in the pledge? Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Nathan. We'll hear from him in a little bit later this evening. I'm taking something out of order. I'm going to start with communications and announcements. Our public hearing will go right after that, because we have a couple proclamations I'd like to do while our people are here in the audience. First one I'd like to do tonight is I have a Town of Penfield proclamation for our Independence Day Parade Marshal on June 1st, and there's two gentlemen here this evening that we're honoring as parade marshals. The first is Mr. Elmer Pancras. As a longtime resident and a much beloved member of the Penfield community, he has called the Town of Penfield home since 1950. Mr. Pancras has raised 3 children here in Penfield, and his loving family has grown to include 5 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. And whereas he has been an active member of the Penfield community throughout his 70-plus years in Penfield, including being a charter member of the Faith Lutheran Church. He is a proud World War II veteran, serving from February 1944 to November 1945 in the United States Army Air Corps. And he bravely flew 43 missions in Europe in a P-51D Mustang after training in a P-17, a BT-13, an AT-6, and a B-40 aircraft. He was awarded several honors for his distinguished service, including the Air Medal with the Oak Leaf Clusters, the Belgian Fourragère Grade, and the European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Ribbon. So now, therefore, be it resolved that Elmer's exemplary service to our country make him the ideal citizen to recognize as we celebrate the birthday of the United States of America. And be it further resolved that the Penfield Town Board, with great appreciation, bestows the honor of the 2023 Independence Day Parade Marshal to Elmer Pancras. Thank you. Congratulations, Elmer. Elmer, we have another awardee as well for our parade marshals, but would you like to say anything? If you'd like to come up and say anything, you're welcome to come to the microphone, or you can wait, or that's fine. And I also am honored here tonight to be able to present our second Independence Day Parade Marshal, which is Rick Goff. And Mr. Rick Goff is an upstanding citizen and leader in our Penfield community. And although he's not originally from the town of Penfield, Rick has become a fixture in the community since relocating here since 1978. Rick and his lovely wife, Pat, is here tonight, have raised their family in Penfield, including children Rachel, Kate, and Frank. And whereas Rick is an ardent supporter and advocate for active and retired U.S. military members. And whereas Rick himself is a decorated veteran serving in the United States Army 7th Infantry Division in Korea. And whereas he proudly serves as the post commander of the Bremen Post 1229 of the American Legion, past post and county commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, a member of several other organizations, including the AM Vets, the Korean Defense Veterans of America, and the Vorcher 111 of the 40 and 8. And recently, Rick played an instrumental role in the creation of the Penfield Heroes Wall at Penfield Community Center. The wall recognizes members of the Penfield community who are actively serving in our U.S. military. And whereas Rick has also volunteered as his time as a facilitator with the Deer Program at the Penfield Recreation. So now, therefore, be it resolved that Rick's history of service to our country and community make him the perfect person to be recognized during our celebration of the birthday of the United States of America. So be it further resolved that the Penfield Town Board happily bestows the honor of 2023 Independence Day Parade Marshal to Rick Goff. Gentlemen, if you'd like to say anything, Rick? You're welcome to come up to one of the microphones, well, with or without Elmer. That's fine.
Here?
Yes, sure, any one of those.
I'm with Elmer.
We thank you so much, Rick. Appreciate that. So, and
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Thank you. And with that, we'll continue our communications and announcements. And I think, would the clerk please like to start?
Just a friendly reminder that the primary election is on June 27th, very soon, and the polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. If you require further details, kindly visit the Monroe County Board of Elections website at www.monroecounty.gov/elections. And of course, you can always give me a call at 585-340-8629. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Ockenden.
Thank you, Supervisor Drawe. I do have a couple announcements this evening. The first is a reminder of our summer concert series. If you're looking for a fun summer activity, check out the Town of Penfield Summer Tuesday concerts at the Penfield Amphitheater and Kiwanis Stage. The venue is situated behind the Town Hall here, 3100 Atlantic Avenue in our Veterans Memorial Park. You'll love spending your evenings here with us. Mark your calendars for the following upcoming performances. June 13th, Into the Now will be performing. June 20th, Penfield Big Band. June 27th, Mike Cornrich. And July 11th, The Swooners. All performances start at 6:30 p.m., and you can visit our website for a complete list of performances at penfield.org/events. And then secondly, a reminder of our Independence Day celebration being celebrated on Saturday, July 1st. The parade will kick off starting at the Penfield High School, going to the Penfield Community Center via Penfield Road. This year, we are honored, as just noted and recognized, to have Elmer Pankratz and Commander Rick Goff from the Bremen Post as our parade marshals. They will be leading a procession representing the pride and dedication of our community. And that's not all. Joining us as parade MCs this year is our beloved Don Alhart from 13 WHAM TV and Terry Clifford from 92.5 WBEE. Their infectious energy and commentary will keep the excitement alive throughout our parade. Just a note, traffic-wise, the duration of the parade, which again begins at 10, all parade route arteries will be closing at 9:45 to ensure a smooth and safe experience for everyone involved. So please plan accordingly and make sure you get there early to avoid any issues. Continuing on through the day, the fun at Harris Wayland Park starts at 6 p.m. We'll have music provided by Bach to Rock. There'll be food trucks and, of course, our fireworks display, which will begin at 10 p.m., which is always a crowd pleaser. For information regarding parking arrangements and detours, again, visit our website, penfield.org/events. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilperson Kohl.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor Drawe. I have 3 announcements and a proclamation. The announcements are that come join us Penfield Community Center on July 13th from 4 to 7 for a free bike rodeo open to all ages. Discover and improve your bicycle handling skills through interactive and family-friendly activities organized by the Monroe County Office of Traffic Safety. Bring your bike and helmet to participate in the various bike skills. Penfield Public Library has changed its operating hours for the summer season. Starting from June 24th, the library will be open on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. However, it will be closed on Sundays until August 27th. You can visit www.penfieldlibrary.org for further details. And finally, join Penfield Trails Committee for their June hike at Veterans Memorial Park on Saturday, June 10th at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The event welcomes all ages, but children under 16 must be accompanied by an adult. Please wear appropriate footwear such as hiking boots or shoes for the 1.5-mile trail behind Town Hall of Penfield. It can be slippery at times. The amphitheater behind the Town Hall is the starting point for this hike. More information, go to penfieldrecreation.org. And the proclamation I have is one I gave in person to David Harmon, who's the conductor for the Penfield Symphony Orchestra, in his retirement at the last concert in May. And so now I'm going to read the proclamation into the record. Whereas Dr. David Harmon has brilliantly led the Penfield Symphony since year 2000, whereas he is retiring after 22 years with the orchestra. Whereas the Penfield Symphony Orchestra has been a staple in the Penfield community for over 60 years since its founding in 1955. Whereas under his direction, the 90-piece orchestra has flourished and provided artistic enrichment and entertainment for the Penfield community. Whereas over its history, the Penfield Symphony has commissioned many new works, concerts, and featured guest artists of local and national renown. Now be it resolved that the retirement of Dr. David Harmon offers a time to celebrate all that he and the PSO have accomplished over the years. Be it further resolved that the Penfield Town Board extends its sincere appreciation and thanks to Dr. David Harmon for his contributions to the Penfield community during his time with the Penfield Symphony Orchestra. This was dated May 15th, 2023. It was signed by our Supervisor, Debbie Drawe, along with Linda Kohl, Candace Lee, and Bob Ockenden. Thank you.
Councilperson Lee?
Thank you. Good evening. The town is looking to hire a skilled automotive mechanic to maintain and repair our equipment and vehicles. Applicants are required to have a Class A or Class B commercial driver's license, and the ideal candidate should possess at least 2 years of automotive experience and possess comprehensive knowledge of various mechanics and conducting standard repairs. This is a full-time position with a starting salary of $27.70 per hour. Working schedule is 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. To apply or learn more, please visit our website. The town is also thrilled to announce the Penfield Music Festival and Food Truck Rodeo on June 9th at this Friday from 4:30 to 8 p.m. at the Penfield Amphitheater, hoping that the air quality clears up before then so that we can all enjoy this event. It's free and open to the public. Lastly, we have an event that's geared towards the youngest residents of Penfield. Children ages 1 through 10 are invited to participate in the Rothfuss Park Farm Walk. We're going to be offering these walking themes, and children can participate with the maps and go through the agricultural history of that park, explore and learn more about the various animals and crops that were once part of the farm. And if they complete all themes, they can bring their map to the Penfield Recreation or at the Community Center and claim a prize along with the T-shirt that says, "I walked the Rothfuss Farm." The program runs from June to August. Thank you.
Thank you. I just had a couple announcements myself. One was from the Penfield Art Association, and I'm doing this tonight because I know Pat Goff is in the audience here. Their spring art show and sale is going on now through the June 11th at the community room across from the library at the Penfield Community Center, and I would encourage anybody to go. I stopped in the other day. Pat, along with some other wonderful artists in our Penfield community, have their works on display. So we thank you, Pat, for your contributions to beautifying our town. So thank you. I would encourage anybody to stop in and check out the show this week. Second announcement I have is Adopt a Shelf at the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf is looking for people to participate in their Adopt a Shelf program. The commitments last 3 to 4 months, and you will need to provide about 20 items each month, and they could include mustard, jelly, hamburger helper, and a number of items. If you're interested in volunteering or want more information, please contact the Penfield Food Shelf at gmail.com or call 585-234-0799 on that. And my next announcement is about the new children's Penfield Children's Garden. A couple weeks ago, a ribbon was cut on the new Penfield Children's Garden. I was happy to be able to be there. It's located behind the Penfield Community Victory Garden at 1748 5 Mile Line Road. And this garden was made possible by a generous grant from the Genesee Valley Regional Market Authority. And children of all ages, you can see a picture of the new garden right now. They're invited to come and explore and grow, we're going to have classes through the Penfield Recreation, and that can be found at penfieldrec.org. This project was a community effort with the town preparing the site, members of the Penfield Community Garden helping with the design, and Eagle Scout candidate Connor Janisek was for coordinating his troop to put together the garden beds and the shed. So I encourage anybody to stop out and see it. It's a wonderful addition to our to the Penfield Victory Garden. And lastly, if you'll take a look at as you're entering the Four Corners, I want to put a special shout out to thanking the Penfield Rotary for their support of every year they put flowers and plant at the Four Corners, so they do make it look a lot more colorful in the summer. Yeah. There's also new pots. You'll notice some new stands. You'll see, I think it's in the next picture. We too have received a grant this year for the same grant that the Children's Garden got. This year we're doing some beautification and some recognizing our agricultural heritage in the town of Penfield, where the planters went out today. In a couple of weeks, you'll see some banners recognizing our farmers and our farming community. And so I want a special call out to thank Carrie Ivers, because she helped coordinate that.
I am one of many. But I want to thank you, Carrie, for that. So, and then thank you. Lastly, Penfield Town offices will be closed on June 19th for Juneteenth, and then also on July 3rd and 4th for our Independence Day. So thank you for that. Now I get to our next order of business is a public hearing. Ms. Ivers, you can take us through that. I will defer first to our town clerk to give all the details.
Thank you, Carrie. To allow the construction of a 3,400 square foot plus or minus new building to house a Pets at Peace facility located at 1401 Empire Boulevard in the LaSalle's Landing Development Zoning District. The legal notice was published in the Webster Herald on May 18th, 2023, posted on the town's website and town clerk bulletin board. 9 postcards were mailed.
Thank you. And I believe this public hearing is in order.
Yes, it is. It's been it's ready to be conducted.
Thank you.
The applicant is here to provide an overview. I do have this board has received application materials, the site plans, updated site plans, architectural renderings. I have those available to call up per the board's request. The application is for a new construction. This is currently an undeveloped site. They're proposing to construct a new building that would house the Pets at Peace facility. Currently, the owner of the business operates at a leased location in the town of Irondequoit. So they're looking to relocate the operation here. They'll be here to provide any information that you need. This is under review by the town's PRC committee. Comments will be shared with them to address issues related to site development and engineering issues that typically get handled at the staff level. I will share, just for anybody viewing at home, they are proposing, and I'll bring up some elevations so you can see that the building will have a sort of a residential feel from the road. And this is the elevation that would be visible from Empire Boulevard. And with that, I would defer to the applicant to maybe walk through an overview of the application.
If you'd like to come up to one of the microphones, we're happy to have you. Thank you. If you want to come up on the other side as well, anyone? Great.
Thank you, Carrie.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. Good evening to everybody. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. My name is Rick Harris, and I'm the owner of Pets at Peace and also Harris Funeral Home, which is located in Irondequoit. I've been a third generation funeral director now for over 23 years, and my funeral home has been serving our Rochester community now for over 77 years. In 2009, after a personal experience with losing a pet, I realized ultimately how awful the level of care was for pets when they would pass away, unfortunately. After some research and applying the same level of care, compassion, moral, and ethics, I opened Pets at Peace. Since then, we have helped serve thousands of pet parents and over 60 vet hospitals in Monroe County and surrounding areas. As we continue to gain more trust within our community, we continue to grow. Being a resident here in Penfield for the last 8 years, a Penfield Little League coach right behind us for the last 3, I look forward to trying to open this location here in Penfield at 1401 Empire Boulevard. With me today to help me is architect for the project, which is Joe O'Donnell from Greater Living Architecture, as well as Greg McMahon, and Joel Barrett behind me from Base Build. So these gentlemen will handle questions as far as any construction and sites and materials, but I'm happy to answer questions about the business and operations.
Thank you. Board?
I don't know where to start.
Pages open.
Yeah, I know there's,
I went ahead and reviewed what Ms. Ivers had provided in advance of tonight's session, and I didn't really have any questions. I thought the site plan at least explained the requirements needed for that area, and it would be good to revitalize or at least add more. I think really my only concerns are really how the public feels about continued traffic flow on Empire, and in light of the recent fatality that we had on that street also. I think we're just mindful of traffic flow patterns, and I think there's a traffic study that's going to be scheduled for that area.
So for this particular application, there'll be New York State DOT would be the permitting agency. If a traffic impact study was required, they would have indicated that as part of the future highway permit that was needed. My understanding is that this particular type of use is such a low generator of traffic that a traffic impact analysis is not warranted.
Okay.
And so because this is something that, again, it's not a high traffic, typically the trips to and from this location would be made by the animal hospitals or veterinarian offices. There might be some customer interface, but it would be not regularly scheduled, or it's not a high volume type of use.
Okay, so that's helpful to know. I mean,
and that'll be something we look at as part of our seeker analysis with respect to impacts associated with the development.
okay. I think it's just for that general region because of the already the existing restaurants and then the ones that are coming in this summer and just bringing in more flow to that area. So I didn't have any questions specific to the bid. Thank you.
Actually, one question, maybe you could just help us understand a typical operation or what takes place at this facility.
Sure.
Not being familiar with one, so I'm kind of curious to know a little bit about.
Sure.
And that ties into the people showing up or how many cars.
I would say just what Carrie said, 85% of our workflow is leaving in the morning, probably roughly 9 o'clock. We usually have a couple people who are, go out to make transfers of these vets, and they are out and they're driving and they're not getting back until 4 or 5 o'clock. So that's probably 85% of what we do. The other 15 is probably people coming to us directly, which is very low. So ultimately, our partnerships are with vet hospitals. We're contracted with them. We have great relationships with them, and we're going to them. So very rarely do people come to us. It's kind of the way it would work, Bob.
Gotcha. So parking obviously isn't something.
No, we don't need a tremendous amount of parking.
Yeah.
I think, just the majority of our staff, I think we're going to have there would be maybe 4 to 5 people, staff members during the day. Saturday, it's reduced to probably 1, and we'll be closed on Sundays. So.
And Carrie, I assume there's no potential for shared access. I mean, I don't have the aerial map to see what's adjacent on each side, but there's no combined entry, exit.
I can take a look at that. I don't know that there would be a need for it. And I think the other thing to maybe make note of, or at least share with the board, and I think we've talked about this before. This site is a former fill location, and so there's a lot of engineering that will go into the development of this site, and so adjacent properties may have similar issues, so I'm not even sure from a development standpoint what is feasible.
Nothing on the books or coming up for the properties adjacent then at this point?
Correct, yeah. So I can pull up the mapping in the meantime and show you what's adjacent to it.
I might be able to address a little. My name's Greg McMahon. I'm with McMahon LaRue Engineers. The property directly to the west of this was just recently developed with a dance studio.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And as far as any access to either the east or the west, the topography really limits that. As a matter of fact, on our easterly property line, in order to make this job work, we have a retaining wall because it does slope up, as I'm sure you're all aware of Empire Boulevard. As you go to the west, you're sloping up quite a bit. So the access will be single access from Empire onto this site. And, although additional access to parcels would be nice, it's just physically not possible here.
Yes.
And signage?
Signage, I believe we'd like to have it outside on the front parcel, probably with some brick on either side and a nice sign.
With your logo?
So you could see from both sides.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your logo, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I've seen.
And certainly what we would do, similar to past applications, is make a condition that signage be submitted to the town to furnish to the town board before a sign permit gets issued. This way, the town board, if there was any issues or concerns, the town board could bring the applicant back in to talk about the sign, but if not, then could proceed to the sign permit.
You could work with Ms. Ivers on that, absolutely. Board, any other questions on it? Has anyone signed up to speak for this public hearing?
I don't believe they've signed up for this public hearing.
Okay.
They didn't indicate.
Is there anybody that would like to speak on this matter?
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
The pets, if he's,
Great.
yep.
Thank you for
Do you
coming.
have any questions for us then? I should say, Rick, do you have any questions for us?
This is my first kind of go around with the town and some help here, so it's been very informative, and I got a great team, and we're excited to be here.
And you can work with Ms. Ivers on this to continue
I
through?
know Miss Ivers from Irondequoit, so
Okay.
They have the Harris home in
Yes.
Irondequoit.
she's great.
Great.
So you
Well,
guys are lucky to have her.
Yes, we are, so she can continue the process for you.
sure.
So we thank you. Thank you for coming.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Look forward to. And I'll close this public hearing then. And our next, thank you again, Carrie. Our next item of business is public participation, and we have a very special presentation tonight by our Eagle Scout, Nathan. Would you like to come up and hear? Oh, yeah, they got it ready for you up here. Come up to any of the microphones there. And I think there you go. Perfect. Thank you. Got you all set up for your presentation. We thank you. Bring that down.
Test.
Would you like to tell us your name and your address?
My name is Nathan Chidsey, and I live at 3726 Deer Meadow Run.
Thank you, Nathan. Welcome.
Nathan, could you just spell your last name, please?
Chidsey, Chidsey.
Thank you.
So my name is Nathan Chidsey, and I go to Penfield High School, and I am currently finishing up my Eagle Scout rank. My Eagle Scout project consisted of building an orienteering course, and this is going to be maintained by my troop. Here I have a PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to show my orienteering course, my Eagle project. But first I'm just going to give some context and go through my proposal just to give some informative.
Sure. Thank you.
So the first slide here was just the master plan of Shadow Pines when it was bought by the town. It was some activities, some ideas that were going to go into the property. and they did not have a permanent orienteering course, and I need an Eagle Scout project, so I thought it would be a good idea to work with the town to build an orienteering course, a permanent orienteering course. I had to keep in mind that there was other things being built, including this slide here, which is the disc golf course. There's other things being built also, like walking trails, mountain biking trails, things I just had to keep in mind of. This is the slide of the paved trails that I just had to keep aware of when I was making my proposal. So now I'm gonna get into my proposal itself. And I couldn't do this alone, so I kind of needed some orienteering experts. So I looked up the Rochester Orienteering Club, and they were more than happy enough to assist me while working on my project. All I had to do was just get it approved by the town. And then I started working with Mr. Erkfitz in the rec department to get a base of what a proposal could look like. I had to think of some benefits. There was massive major benefits. It helps Shadow Pines get another activity at the property. Could be used by scout troops, youth groups, schools, etc., the public. Helped Rochester Orienteering Club, which is another party in the project, and it would help them promote the sport of orienteering, and it would help me get towards my Eagle Scout rank. Now, with the proposal, there were some questions, like fundraising. I don't know if I had a fundraiser or not, so there was some major questions up in the air, but I was able to work with the Orienteering Club and the town to answer these questions and make sure that the project went smoothly as possible. And one of the biggest questions was possible market formats. So it was either, the original idea was gonna be 4x4 wooden posts with crushed stone. However, with experience from the Rochester Orienteering Club, they proposed a different idea that came out to be a lot easier in the end instead of digging a hole in the ground. And I also had to keep in mind what kind of terrain I was working with. There was two parts. This is the northern section here, a lot less contour lines, a lot more open area. So I had to keep in mind that an orienteering course would be very easy in this part, but also the more appealing part of the park would be the southern section with a lot more open woods, a lot more elevation changes, a lot more trees, and it was just a lot more appealing to an orienteering point of view. And now I would love to introduce my Eagle Scout project, the new Shadow Pines Permanent Orienteering Course. This is in partnership of me, my scout troop of BSA Troop 312, the Rochester Orienteering Club, and the Town of Penfield. Free maps are obtained utilizing the QR code or this website here on the link. Also, printed maps can be obtained from the Penfield Recreation Office at the Penfield Public Library. If you would like to learn more about orienteering, you may visit rock.us.orienteering.org. The people of the Rochester Orienteering Club will be more than happy to answer any questions related to orienteering. Here is the finished map. I have some maps here if any of you town board members would like to take a peek. And we also have it on the PowerPoint slide here. We have a lot of very diverse places for these controls to go. Some are a little bit easier, some are a little bit harder, to give a little more mix of where the controls can go and how difficult they are. And to use the course descriptions, you can help locate these control points. When you go to one of the posts, you have to write down a letter to prove that you were there. And then you can prove that you were at that post by putting the letter in the grid. And this would be on the back of the map, so it's all one page. And if you have any comments or missing controls, please take a look at the email down there. Maybe take a picture of it if you're watching at home. And you can send an email to that email there to make sure that everything is in shape.
Nice.
Here are some of the examples. These three are all at Shadow Pines currently, and these are some examples of some of the posts and plexiglass that I put in. Most of them are posts that have been driven to the ground, but with permission from the town, I was able to put plexiglass on existing structures that were not trees, that were existing structures that are not harmful to the environment, so we can keep a safe environment at Shadow Pines. Now I'd like to give some special thanks to people because this would not be done without their efforts. I'd like to give a big thank you to Mr. Tate and Mr. Masterton, the Trails and Buildings and Grounds Department. They helped tremendously when needed. I'd like to thank Mr. Erkfitz in the Rec Department, helped to get a base for the potential project. It was my first person I met with from the town, and assisted throughout with mapping along with the beneficiary representative. I'd like to thank Mrs. Cinti and the town board at the August 10th meeting in 2020 when I did my original proposal. They approved of my project and gave permission for me to utilize the Shadow Pines property. I'd like to thank Mrs. Drawe for support throughout the project, and fantastic meeting you right after I put in the last post. That was very convenient, able to ask a lot of questions.
And I didn't tell anybody where it was. I kept a secret for the last couple of weeks.
She really did.
Henry might have told, my dog Henry might have told somebody, but
I appreciate everyone with this project, and I hope that we made a positive impact on the town of Penfield and the Shadow Pines property.
and you forgot, Nathan, a couple other people to thank. Mr. Stone, Mr. Sonnen.
The
Mr. Sonnen.
audience.
I'd like to thank my parents.
There you go, too.
Gonna get it right.
When you forced me to do it, then it...
That's what
I was going to thank them after privately, but I mean, I could do it now in front of the town. Why not?
yeah, there you go. And your scout leader there?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Stout, and I appreciate it. You were my project coach. I could not have done this without you. I really appreciate you.
There you go. Nathan, wonderful job. Wow. Big round of applause for you. We couldn't be happier. It's wonderful.
So Nathan, I have two questions.
Okay.
First one is if you could repeat for our audience and viewers the email address that starts out with, I think it was Scout Master Troop.
Yes, I can go back to that.
And then also the address for people to download the maps.
Could you go back into the PowerPoint for me, please?
So Brian's going to go right in here right now. Mm-hmm. There you go.
No, it's next
That's
one.
the map one.
Next one. There we go. Yes. That one right there?
Okay, that one and then the one before it, but let's look at that one right there. If you want to just say it out loud for our audience.
It is scoutmaster.troop312 Penfield at twh.email.
And then a couple ones before was also for downloading the maps.
Yes.
Right there.
So you can use the QR code to scan, or you can use that website right there. And you can also learn more about orienteering at https://rock.us.orienteering.org.
Nice.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you again, Nathan. Wonderful achievement.
Thank you.
Great project. We appreciate you
Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
for doing this for us. Thanks again. Okay. Thank you.
Great job.
So next here on public participation,
I do have
Do you
two
have some-
people
is anyone signed up
and
to-
I also have
Sure.
an email to read. Which would you like to do first?
you may, well, how about we do with who signed up
Okay,
first?
so Jim Froome.
Mr. Froome. Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so that is Josh Galilee. Okay.
I'm Jim Froome, 11 Denonville Ridge.
And I'm Josh Galili at 114 Hickory Ridge Road.
I watched the work session 2 weeks ago, and I had some questions and some things I would like to share at the time. And as time goes on, you hear more things. But my takeaway from the meeting was that the board is hearing from different people about how to do the pickleball courts and the keeping it parkland and everything, and it seems to be a push-pull on all this, and I guess one of the things I wanted to address is that, and I didn't have much time to write because I spent all the time on that illustration I sent you folks today, and I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, but it just seems to me, and after the meeting, I foiled all the communications, because you had mentioned at the public hearing earlier, or I guess not public hearing, but the previous one, you'd had a lot of comments, and I'm always trying to figure out, are the comments about the trees, or are they, because I know there's one person, and there were 2 emails in there about, let's not have pickleball courts there, let's have them somewhere else. And I think we're well beyond that, but one of the things I did want to bring up on that is there are communities that are building courts, they're getting shut down. And one of the things that this location has going for it is there will not be a noise problem. The noise studies that are out were well within the reasonable distances for any housings. Victor has had to restrict their hours on their courts they built. They're going to be probably building new ones sooner or later, but I just wanted to reiterate that this is there's other locations we've looked at, and there's been pros and cons to all of them, but this was probably some that, previous supervisors said, no, you don't want to do it there for various reasons. Sometimes it was a noise issue, sometimes it was a wind issue. But if we're going to build pickleball courts in Penfield, this is a premium in terms of how it would fit in. And as you know, or if you don't know, I'm going to reiterate this, but the town bought, the property went up for sale in 2015, and at the beginning of 2016, a group of citizens, myself included, we started fighting the development, and that group has morphed into Friends of Shadow Pines now, which are looking at all sorts of things. But when the property was first bought, the person that was doing the first meetings, I think, left about 2/3 through, and Tony came in and ran the last, 3 or 4 meetings, and pushed us to purchase, or gave us reasons why the town wanted to purchase it as public property, or whatever, town property, as opposed to a park. And nobody really understood what was going on at the time, and kind of said okay. And then shortly thereafter, when the first master plan came out, that got referenced at least 4 times in the meeting, your last meeting, the first one had a recreation building there. And there was some pretty quick feedback on that, and that was taken out. And it became very much aware, I believe, to the town board. Again, we're not privy to everything it's talked about, but it became apparent real soon that, they didn't want a bus garage, they didn't want a rec, they wanted to keep it as parkland, and that's what most of us have been going on. And the uproar, or not uproar, but the feedback you got 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, that's been told to this board. When I say this board, I don't mean you specifically, right. But for 2.5 years, that's been brought up over and over and over and over. We just, because of COVID and all this stuff, there's never a lot of people saying it, but anybody in the town we ever talked to has had issues with the number, the amount of clear cutting, where the kids' playground was to be, et cetera, et cetera. So, to me, it shouldn't be any surprise. And it should be irrefutable at this point that we should work to keep it parkland. Now, I understand that this has set everything back. I've gotten a couple emails saying, why are you killing why are you doing this? It's going to put them off. And what I sent you the other day was something that was brought up 2-3 years ago, trying to put the courts into perspective, because there's a golf course there. And if you look at the map, I think I included it for you, but back in 2000, oh shit, excuse me. I can't shut off the video chats with my granddaughter somehow. If you look at the map when the property was, put for sale, the Wayland Road was a tunnel of trees. along the back 9 and the front 9. And the trees were very healthy looking there. And then somehow, just out of nowhere, the town started cutting trees down for lots of reasons. But it was, I think some of the reasons weren't projected properly, but anyway, they're gone. And people do not, the townspeople, for the most part, do not, the people that drive through there, do not like the look and feel of not having that buffer with the quarry from, you know, from all these years. And I know when I bought my house, I didn't know there was a quarry there. But I can tell you it was somewhat peaceful to drive when I'm coming from Four Corners or whatever, to drive through that tunnel of trees, because, you know, it just took away the, oh, there's a quarry in there. And having lived since 1981 with, you know, back then we had blasts twice a day, 3, 4, 5 days a week. We had windows shaking. Some people had things falling off shelves. So that tunnel of trees was kind of important. And so I don't think it should be a surprise to the board when they say, we don't want you making this look like Rothfuss, okay? So that's just kind of my take on all that. The other thing is I know you know, I'm probably one of the few people that have watched just about every conversation and meeting that's been taking place here. But even some of the decisions that get made, when people ask me about them, or if I'm just watching, I'm going, where'd this come from? Okay. And on the drawing I gave you, if you'll notice, I went back to standard size pickleball courts. Okay. And if you want to make them bigger for disability, that's fine, but just know that there's 3 sizes plus the disability courts. And the second size, which was the original proposal, at the US Open down in Naples a month ago, they had all sorts of classes of wheelchair pickleballs for, you know, seniors, pros, and everything, and they were played on the 34 by 64 courts. Okay? If you want to make them bigger, that's fine, but what? And we have people in our group that want lots of them. But I've never seen a wheelchair pickleball player in town. There are some, okay, but it's not like there's a whole lot of them. Unless you're going to try to have national tournaments, to have that many courts. And I know there's been, you know, we went from 12 to 15 to 16. I thought we went back to 12 with maybe 4 more as an add-on, you know, get a quote, but now I'm hearing 12 courts again. And now we're going to have 6 courts that are huge and 6 courts that are regular. I mean, that's what it sounds like was in the plan. So anyway, I'm just putting my 2 cents on that. It's the 44 by 74 courts that are in the top 2 rows of the existing bid plan. Those are 49% larger in materials and labor, except for the $500 net. It's an expansion of price on those. So it's hard for us to listen. When pickleball has grown 180% since I made the presentation about 28 months ago, it's, you know, just this last week when we played, we had maybe 20 people come up in the morning, and there were 6 new people I'd never met before, and I go down there, you know, 4 or 5 days a week. So the sport is continuing to grow. There's definitely a need. So I just wanted, you know, I just hope the board will, make a decision and get going on this. And in terms of some of the pushback you've been getting on a lot of the issues, I offered, I think 2 years ago, that some of the people we've been talking to had offered to help. And as far as I know, the town has never really reached out to any of the suggested people. But Josh met with me, I think 2 years ago. And I'm going to have him give you a little bit of his history, because one of the things we went over last week was kind of this: how do we fit this into the existing fairways? And if you look at what I sent you, not only can we fit 16 courts without cutting any trees down, we can put paths through not cut any of the trees down, and you can still have 3 play areas if people want to go out and throw footballs or frisbees. Okay, you have a clearing area behind, which is in the southern part in the middle of the 20 acres that you want to clear. I don't know if I should say you, but engineering wants to clear. You have the area south of the pickleball courts, which is the old third hole, which was 500 yards long. And then you have a little dog leg coming out of there. And we were standing there the other day saying, if we just move the bathroom over here, 20 feet or so, and then you just have this big playing field, which can be the extension for your playgrounds. But all of these, there's just no cutting trees down other than the parking area. And you need Mark to get the numbers for sure, because I'm just measuring on Google Maps and taking their engineering drawings as best I can. But the parking area, the main parking area, the pickleball courts, as I laid them out this time, and the bathroom, which was, I think, 40 by 80 or whatever, and then a pad around it with another 10 feet, that's less than 3 acres. And Mark alluded to something about, if it's over 5 acres, you got to go back to the DEC. But I believe that with everything that's been done, that for you to change to something like this, other than they have to redo the engineering drawings, I don't think it should be that long, drawn-out, expensive process that you're being told. And I did send this stuff to another engineering firm, and I made a mistake. I was hoping they would get back to me in time, but I just want a kind of a second opinion, because I don't see, since that land is flat, and Josh is going to address for you right now, going through that middle where the oak trees are. Has everybody been there?
Yes.
Have you guys all seen the property? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that stand of trees in the middle where there's already a path through there, Josh is going to talk a little bit about the tree line, keeping that going, rebuilding it, and then also what can be done with the paths without potentially destroying those trees. In other words, keeping the trees in place so we have paths for picnics, paths for walking, we have shade, we have everything we need to have a proper park with pickleball courts in it. So with that, I'm going to be quiet, let him kind of address some of those issues.
Again, my name is Josh Galili. I've been in Penfield about 3 years. My wife grew up on Fallbrook Circle, though. And her parents, they're currently in Irondequoit, but some history here. So I even, prior to moving here, walking at Shadow Pines before it was purchased, when it was, I guess, still, not quite a golf course, but certainly not owned by the town. My background is I'm born and raised in New York City, but I'm a consulting arborist. Prior to moving here, I worked for 12 years managing tree care in Central Park. I worked 5 years at the New York Botanical Garden, and I'm a board-certified master arborist. I'm currently on the executive board of the New York State Arborists as the Region 8 governor, Finger Lakes region. I'm tree risk assessment qualified, and I do a lot with tree risk assessment. But I also help, currently helping Cornell manage some construction projects, University of Rochester, and Cobb's Hill Village is currently a project I'm working on. So. Working in Central Park was a fantastic experience, balancing user groups and pressures on a park. It's 800 acres with 40 million visitors a year. And, it's critical to preserve trees. And just one of the things I take away from that is balancing the need of the community and the various stakeholders, but also, the value of the park and what's currently there. Once we develop, it doesn't come back. And New York City and Central Park was just a microscope of that, proposing to build even one pickleball court in Central Park would have been, very controversial because we're taking away green space. Up here, we do have a lot more green space, and it's fantastic. So I think it's easier to make those decisions, but again, it doesn't come back. And so I applaud the town. When I had learned that Shadow Pines had been bought, 9 times out of 10, that would have been more subdivisions. So that already is a huge bonus. But what I would love to encourage is, and in talking to Jim and hearing his ideas, when we're talking about clearing acres of land, leveling it and then replanting, I think we're dismissing the investment that we have from the current trees there. And even in the one spot Jim's talking about, we have 3 mature, I believe they were red oak trees, northern red oaks. We don't get those back. Those trees are minimum 50 years old. After clearing the land and replanting, you're not going to get the same trees because it's not the same soil conditions. Engineers are great for buildings and great for drainage and great for utilities, but the trees are the last thing on their list. And, any development I go to that hasn't had an arborist involved, all that topsoil is gone. It's mineral soil, and 6 inches of topsoil is added back, which is marginal at best, and that's great for grass. It's not great for supporting a tree that's going to last 50, 100 years. So I just, in supporting what Jim's talking about, we can work and do construction around trees. There's great standards there for it. Ideally, a tree has 1.5 feet for every inch of diameter to protect its root zone, but when we manage these as arborists, we understand we may not have that. In fact, frequently we don't. So we start looking at where can we give, where can we take, can we protect groups of trees, right? Because if we can protect a group of trees, we can actually impact parts of those root systems more. So we look at that balance. And I would like to present myself as someone who would be happy to help, even pro bono to some degree. A small business, I can't do it all, but I would love to be part of this and assist, answer questions, guide and help that, because it's just, I don't know the town's capability and Parks Department, their, arboricultural experience, and I never want to armchair quarterback, but some of this I see, there could be more influence from the arboricultural point of view, and I think you got a better result as part of that. And again, the big part is not discounting the value that the park has. It isn't necessarily monetary, but again, those trees, you just cannot replace, a 50, even 75-year-old oak tree. And if we, even today is a great example. If we had several acres of hard surface quartz and a smattering of newly planted 3-inch caliber trees, it's hot, you got no wind breaks, and if we got any other particulate matter issues like today, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. So again, just encouraging, trying to manage that construction with working around trees where we can, preserving what we can.
Okay, appreciate.
I just want to add, two of the things we talked about is, where on the original plan where you have the 4.4 acre playing field?
Yes.
And then I've been, pestering you to move that to the west a little bit, if nothing else, because there's already a walkway in there. And one of the things Josh told me was that walkway, because that's been there for years, and even if you just, and some of it's asphalt, but some of it's some sort of ground up topsoil or path they're putting in there. He said that through there, because that's already compacted, there's very little we can do to hurt the roots of those trees going through that pathway, because it's already compacted. The roots have already adjusted to that. And then to the east of that, going over by the courts, we were looking at the different places, because again, a walkway doesn't have to be in a certain place. If it just kind of meanders through those trees and you can put some picnic tables around it, to me, that's a win-win, okay? And the other thing we've noticed, I forget the fellow's name, that Mike that flew the drone, I went out when he did that. The elevation is very slight in there. And there's just really no need to grade and flatten that. You can play Frisbee, football, softball. You can do anything through there. I mean, as a golf course, we consider that area of the golf course to be pretty flat. And the numbers are in the bid specs. You can see the elevations on them. And it's pretty much the same throughout the whole place. Where the green is, where the parking lot's going to be, that's a little raised, but they built that up. And at the first hole, which was the southern end of remember how they had the rec field and then they had expansion down there? Well, on the southern end of the expansion, that area there was where they grew extra grass for greens. If there was if they lost a green, they would replant it there. So that's perfectly flat in there. So just by doing these 3 or 4 acres for the parking and the bathroom and all this, you can mow those other 2-3 areas and have 3 playing fields. Yeah, they won't be a 4.4 acre, but they'll be an acre and a half and an acre. There are plenty of places for people to take their families, and to me, I'd rather take my family there. I was on the front 9 in the middle of the disc golf course the other day. I just rode my bike through there, and there was a lady, or a woman, I don't know how old she was, I didn't go over and talk to her, but she had put up a, a hammock. She'd put up a hammock between 2 trees, and she had her 2 dogs there petting them as she was reading a book in the middle of the day. And, she was in the trees, she wasn't in the middle of the golf course, but, we have so much opportunity to do that like that. I would like you to not only consider that layout, but I'd like you to get second opinions and see how much effort and money it is to do something like that, because to me, you're satisfying the town. I mean, when I foiled all that stuff, there was not a lot of people saying, don't do this, don't do that. They were saying, save the trees, keep it park-like. And if you have other things that I don't know about, please share them with me. But, except for the two people that said, I don't want pickleball courts there, people are just asking, keep it park-like. And I think that's all I have.
And Jim, I didn't get it, we got this kind of late in the afternoon, so I haven't gotten a chance to look at it. I was trying to look at it a little bit on my phone, which I will share with the, staff here, with Mark tomorrow and so forth. Take a look at this, some of your points.
Right.
And
well, one thing on that, I asked the video department, I think, I don't know, maybe 2 times ago when I talked, if I could bring a couple images to show, and he said they don't allow it. So imagine how I feel because I would love to share this. I'm going to put it up on the web and put it on social media so people can see it. But I would love to, use my mouse and go through it. But I'm not able to do that. But orienteering guy got to do it.
well, that was an Eagle Scout project.
I understand that. But,
that he was in conjunction with our town staff as far the rec
but
department.
you understand, we just don't get to have, the only time I talk to you guys is either through email or I come talk publicly. We've had a couple private meetings on a few things.
Yes, we have.
But there's so many issues that keep popping up. The only way I feel I can get them to you is to come do this. And a lot of times it would help if we could illustrate what we're talking about.
So how about, Jim, and I reach back out to you tomorrow, maybe you come back in and we have another meeting and
That's
discuss
fine.
some of this.
My time is getting limited in that I'm going to be leaving after Father's Day, and I have
Okay.
3 trips, so I'm not going to be around a lot. I'll be in town for a couple days here and there.
Well,
but,
we'll try to get you a couple dates, maybe.
we can do it through Zoom or, if you do it before Father's Day, that's fine. I can do it.
I can see what we can do.
But again, I think you guys have the resources to talk to the engineering staff and BME and say, what exactly would this do to us? Because that fits what everybody's asking for. And it won't look like Rothfuss. It'll keep what it looks like now. And a lot of those paths are already there. Okay? And one of the things that needs get going right now, when I drove here today, I noticed I was looking at all the dead trees along Atlantic.
Yep.
And then I looked at the corner of Dolomite and look at all those wonderful green pine trees. They're the same trees. They were planted by the same company. Why isn't we haven't been able to maintain those and keep them going? And my answer is because they've been planned to be cut down all along. Nobody cared.
I don't think that was the plan.
Well, that was on the plan for 3-4 years. So anyway, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh, for coming too, as well. Thank you, appreciate it. Have a nice evening. I think, Amy, you said you had an email?
Yes, I have an email from Vicki Odenbach. She states, since the last meeting, where a large number of people expressed their concerns about the tree clearing at Shadow Pines, there has been no communication that I know of regarding the board's thoughts on the presentations of suggested changes. There was the question of the tree policy enacted many years ago. Is the board considering this? Was there going to be a public meeting on this? My concern is that the board listens to the suggestions, but is still working under the premise that clearing 20 acres is okay. The overwhelming support is for the board to do whatever they can to retain the park-like atmosphere, such as moving the courts so only minimal trees have to be removed, and maintain the natural topography of the land. There have been suggestions on how to do this, and yet the rhetoric of some town personnel is still, well, it's only 20 acres. Is that an overused, irrelevant, and tired excuse for not wanting to put in the work to find a way to do what the residents want? I don't understand how the board could possibly still be thinking of clearing the land. The people have spoken, and it's time to act on what the people want. In Jim Froome, you have a willing resident that has done so much research on that piece of land, the courts, and ways to make it all work so everyone is happy, while at the same time taking into consideration the cost of the changes. He is doing the work the board should be doing to find ways to make it happen instead of going back to well, this is the way we've done it in the past. It's time to change and to listen to the residents. The board has already cleared too many trees around that area for reasons that don't hold hold stand up under close scrutiny. I will continue to advocate for what I believe is the overwhelming consensus of the residents of the town. When will the board listen and act accordingly?
Thank you. I see no other emails and any phone calls, Brian? Seeing no phone, thank you. No phone calls, so I'll close public participation, and I'll move to additions and deletions to the agenda. Board, any additions or deletions? Seeing none, move to the approval of minutes. You have before you the April 5th, 2023, and the May 3rd, 2023. Board, any discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Thank you. Board, has anyone received any petitions since our last meeting? Seeing none, next order of business is the clerk resolutions by function.
Before I start reading the resolutions, I do want to make note that there are a few resolutions we have here that are written or are by the incorrect council person. So the ones that there are incorrect council people, I will explain, I will just say who the actual council person should be. And that includes the very first one. It says Councilman Ockenden, but it should be Councilperson Kohl. Authorization to maintain properties and assess the charges to the 2024 property tax bills.
So moved.
Second.
In 2015, the town board adopted a resolution entitled "A Local Law to Provide for a Codification of Local Laws, Ordinances, and Certain Resolutions of the Town of Penfield into Municipal Code to be designated the Code of the Town of Penfield." The purpose of the code includes, among other things, to provide for the safety, health protection, and general welfare of persons and property in the town by requiring the maintenance of all such properties within the town. Whereas the property owners of 50 Jackson Road Extension, 42 Penn Webb Park, and 124 Beacon Hills Drive South have failed, and 43 Longworth Drive, have failed to maintain the subject properties in accordance with the applicable code requirements, which is resulting in concerns for the safety, health, protection, and general welfare of persons and properties. The town staff has continually requested the maintenance of the subject properties. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board is authorizing the building and code compliance inspector to have the properties appropriately maintained. Be it further resolved that the town board further authorizes the cost of the maintenance and any necessary subsequent maintenance during 2023 season be charged to the 2024 property tax bill for those subject properties.
Any discussion?
If I noticed that the town building code and compliance inspector is present, I just have a question trying to understand for these 4 properties. Are they currently occupied? Are they zombie properties? Can you explain just why I see that we have continually requested the maintenance of these properties, but it says with no result? I'm just trying to understand if they're still present.
So I know that 124 Beacon is an empty lot. That was a house that was torn down 4 years ago. And it's just an empty lot, so that's not occupied. It's still owned by the bank. 42 or 43 Longsworth, that is a vacant house. What are the other 2 addresses?
50 Jackson Road,
That's,
which I understand has received a lot of complaints from neighbors on Jackson Road, but it's still occupied by a resident.
No, hasn't been occupied in years.
There's still a...
Jackson Road Extension?
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been occupied in years.
There's an agent for that property, isn't there? I thought there were okay.
So 50
Okay.
Jackson Road is vacant, and
Okay.
then 42 Penn Webb, that is just a garage.
Okay.
Because the house burned down, again, 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, all right, that's helpful. I just wanted to, again, clarify that we've made multiple attempts and that it's not individual residents there that we would be imposing these taxes on without having at least made the effort to try to bring them into compliance. Okay.
And what we do is we do send the violation letters out before I even bring it to you.
Right.
And now if the resolution passes, I will send them a letter attached with the resolution showing that they have failed, and now the town will maintain that property if they do not. They still have the opportunity to, but they may not.
Yeah, in all my years, I don't believe anybody ever was living in the house. It's usually somebody that is, they live in Florida now, and the house is vacant, or all the examples that Heidi just mentioned.
Yeah, and I think I was mostly worried.
This is an ongoing problem.
Oh, yeah, no, I recognize it, and I think I was mostly worried about Jackson Road. I thought there was an agent for that property, but it's been in disrepair for so long, and I know that there are, like, police activity there and whatnot, so, okay, I'm all set, thank you.
Roll
Thanks,
call
Heidi.
vote.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorizing bond counsel and municipal advisor for financing of the DPW facility project.
So moved.
Second.
Town of Penfield is in need of financial consulting services and assistance from the bond council in conjunction with the proposed borrowing estimated at $20 million for the new DPW facility to be located at the existing site of 1607 Jackson Road. Whereas the town board has received a scope of services from Bernie Donegan not to exceed $50,000, and whereas the town board received a proposal from Tim McGill, attorney at law, for the amount not to exceed $30,000, be it resolved that the supervisor is authorized to enter into contracts for these services, subject to legal review from the town attorney. Funding for these services will be appropriated from the assigned general fund balance.
Thank you. This is something we have to do is whenever we're talking about bonding a lot of money through the town, so thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorization for the supervisor to execute small contracts.
So moved.
Second.
The town routinely enters into small contracts for various contractual services, and a significant number of these contracts are for the amount totaling less than $5,000. The town board endeavors for efficient and timely processing for transactions for day-to-day operations. Be it resolved, the town board hereby grants the town supervisor authorization to execute contracts up to $5,000.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. The next 4 resolutions have Councilperson Kohl as the person it's by, or I'm sorry,
believe it's Drawe.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Has Councilperson Drawe as the, for the Committee of Law and Finance. She did and was that councilperson, but now as the supervisor of the town, Councilperson Kohl will be taking on that Law and Finance resolutions, and so that is 127 to 130, and here's the first one in that group. Authorization for supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement to allow a fence within a drainage easement at 14 Middleton Lane.
So moved.
Second.
The town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement with John and Sarah Simons, owners of the property at 14 Middleton Lane, to permit a portion of a fence to encroach into the drainage easement to the town of Penfield, located at 14 Middleton Lane, in a form and subsequent substance acceptable to the town attorney.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorization for the supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement to allow a fence within a sidewalk easement at 13 Hickory Pond Drive.
So moved.
Second.
The town board hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement with Rachel DeWurst and Stephen Vanderwally, owners of the property at 13 Hickory Pond Drive, to permit a portion of a fence to encroach into the sidewalk easement to the town of Penfield, located at 13 Hickory Pond Drive, in a form and substance acceptable to the town attorney.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement to allow a fence within a storm sewer easement at 135 Farmbrook Drive.
So moved.
Second.
The town board hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement with Gary and Linda Jones, owners of property at 135 Farmbrook Drive, to permit a portion of a fence to encroach into the storm sewer easement to the town of Penfield, located at 135 Farmbrook Drive, in a form, substance acceptable to the town attorney.
Thank you. And discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement to allow a fence within a storm sewer easement at 19 Stone Ledge Way.
So moved.
Second.
The town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement with Eric and Amy Rimkus, owners of property at 19 Stone Ledge Way, to permit a portion of a fence to encroach in the storm sewer easement to the town of Penfield, located at 19 Stone Ledge Way, in a form and substance acceptable to the town attorney.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. 2023 through 2024 property and general liability and pollution liability insurance policy acceptance.
So moved.
Second.
The USI, the town's brokerage firm, worked with the town's current carrier's U.S. specialty for property liability insurance and Beasley for pollution liability to submit proposals for the 2023-2024 policy year. The CIC group, acting as a consultant for the town, reviewed the proposal renewals for the town's current insurance providers for coverage effective June 1st, 2023, and found the terms of the proposals to be in the town's best interest. Be it resolved, the total insurance quote of $182,132.05 from USI brokerage firm for the coverage with U.S. Specialty Travelers and Beasley is approved as they meet the specifications for the town's insurance needs for 2023 insurance year. And there's a list of it all broken down that adds up to $182,000, $182,132.05.
5 cents. Great. Thank you. Something we have to do every year, part of the housekeeping here. So any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Setting a public hearing for the draft 2023 comprehensive plan update.
So moved.
Second.
The town board previously adopted a resolution to appoint members of the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee and directed the town staff to prepare a comprehensive plan update. The draft of the 2023 Comprehensive Plan Update has been prepared for the public's review and comment pursuant to the New York State town law. The town has declared its intent to serve as lead agency and in this Type 1 seeker review. Therefore, be it resolved, the town board shall hold a public hearing at the town hall on July 5th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. to hear all persons interested in providing comment in this area. Resolve, the legal notice of the public hearing shall be published at least once in the official newspaper, no less than 10 or more 20 days before the date of the hearing. A copy of the public notice shall be available in the town hall as prescribed by law. And the draft will be up on the website.
It will.
Say that.
Maybe, yep.
And it's in my office.
It is in, okay, in the clerk's
Very good.
office as well. Any roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Recognition of a donation to youth soccer program.
So moved.
Second.
In 2022, the Recreation Department received a donation to support our youth soccer program in the amount of $1,550 in memory of Tom Gordon. The funds will be utilized for the 2023 soccer programs, and the town board desires to have an up-to-date budget in relation to the current income expenditures. Be it resolved that the following 2023 budget amendment be approved. For, revenue, $1,550 to appropriations, $1,550 youth soccer league.
Thank you. Any discussion? No, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign a contract with Foundation Design PC for professional services to aid in the design of a new DPW garage facility.
So moved.
Second.
Whereas the town board has hired MRB Group to provide professional design services for a new DPW garage facility, whereas the proposal submitted by them identified specific professional services to be performed by independent companies that would be required to aid in the development of the project design. Be it resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to sign a contract not to exceed $9,750 for services with Foundation Design PC in Rochester to provide geotechnical services. This resolution and the proposals submitted by Foundation Design shall constitute the contract, and this agreement is to be reviewed and approved by the town attorney. Be it further resolved that the town board approves the appropriation of said funds from the assigned general fund balance as an amendment to the 2023 budget for these services.
Thank you. Any discussion? This and along with the next two resolutions are all part of our new DPW garage facility project, so happy to be moving this forward. Roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorization for the supervisor to sign a contract with Deluxe for professional services to aid in the design of a new DPW garage facility.
So moved.
Second.
Whereas the town board, again, has hired MRB Group to provide professional design services, and as mentioned earlier, some of the professional services are to be performed by independent companies. This resolution authorizes the supervisor to sign a contract not to exceed $2,150 for services with Drawe in East Bloomfield, New York, to provide freshwater wetlands and watercourse delineation services to aid in the design of the DPW garage facility. Similarly, this resolution and the proposal submitted by them shall constitute the contract to be reviewed and approved by the town attorney. Again, the town board would approve appropriation of the requested funds from the assigned general fund balance as amendment to the 2023 budget.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign a contract with Campus Construction Management Group, Inc. for professional services to aid in the budget development process and design of a new DPW garage facility.
So moved.
Second.
Lastly, this resolution would authorize the supervisor to sign a contract not to exceed $29,920 for services with Campus Construction Management Group in Pittsford, New York, to provide cost estimating services to aid in the budget development process and design of the new DPW garage. This resolution and their proposal, which shall constitute the contract, to be reviewed and approved by the town attorney. Be it further resolved that the town board approves appropriation of the requested amounts from the assigned general fund balance as an amendment to the 2023 budget.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Purchase of one 2023 Chevrolet Bolt EV.
So moved.
Second.
Whereas the Director of Public Works desires to purchase one 2023 Chevy Bolt EV from the City of Yonkers as a piggyback contract to the contract number 6910 from Deneuer Chevrolet in Albany, New York, for a total cost of $31,817.50. Whereas these funds were allocated in the 2022 Assessor's Department budget for this vehicle, but due to supply chain issues, the vehicle was unable to be purchased in that calendar year. Now, the vehicle being available, the town board approves appropriation of $31,817.50 from the unassigned general fund balance as an amendment to the 2023 Assessor's Department budget to fund this purchase.
Thank you. Any discussion? They've been waiting for this vehicle, so I appreciate it. And this, and along the next one, I know Heidi Bale had a little part in help looking towards a piggyback agreement for us, so I thank you for that. So any other discussion on this? Roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Purchase of one 2023 Chevrolet Trailblazer.
So moved.
Second.
So this, again, is another piggyback contract. The Director of Public Works, again, desires to purchase one 2023 Chevy Trailblazer from Albany County piggyback contract, and again, from the same dealer in Albany, New York, for a total cost of $30,920. Similarly, the funds were allocated in the 2021 budget, but due to supply chain issues, the vehicle was unable to be purchased in that calendar year. This time, the board would approve the appropriation of the requested $30,920 from the unassigned general fund balance as an amendment to the 2023 building department budget to purchase this vehicle.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign a contract with Watts Architects and Engineers for professional services to aid in the design of a new DPW garage facility.
So moved.
Second.
So this probably could have been grouped with the others. So if the board recalls to mind, again, we've hired MRB Group to provide professional design services. This falls into that category. We would be authorizing supervisor to sign the contract not to exceed $30,000 for services with Watts Architects and Engineers in Rochester to provide the regulated building materials survey and design services as part of the design of the overall garage facility. This resolution and the proposal submitted by them is going to again constitute the contract to be reviewed and approved by the town attorney.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Advertising for bids for renovation services in the Bremen Room at the Penfield Community Center.
So moved.
Second.
Be it resolved that the Director of Public Works be and hereby is authorized to advertise in the manner prescribed by law for sealed proposals for renovation services in the Brahman Room at the Penfield Community Center. The service contract shall be in accordance with specifications prepared by DPW. Sealed proposals are to be received in the office of the Town Clerk until July 7th, at which time they'll be opened and read publicly by the Town Clerk.
Thank you. Any discussion? No. Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Awarding a construction administration contract for the Allens Creek Stream Restoration Project to the Barton and LaJudas.
So moved.
Second.
Whereas the town board has been working with these engineers for many years on the studies, stream analysis, and plans for various stabilization projects. And this resolution is to authorize the construction of this restoration project to them. We've been provided with a quote for the construction administration and the required soil testing. Mm-hmm. By this resolution, the construction and administration contract for this project will be awarded to Barton and LaJudas.
That's again.
Those engineers for the total amount not to exceed $46,350.
Thank you. Any discussion? Eager to start this project, hopefully in June. And so
hopefully in June, that's now.
Yep. Well, maybe later.
Oh, maybe later in June, yeah.
Roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Awarding a special inspection contract for the Veterans Park Bathroom Facility Project to the Whitestone Associates Engineering and Geology, New York, PLLC.
So moved.
Second.
Whereas the town board has been working with MRB Group to design and oversee the construction of a new bathroom at Veterans Memorial Park, whereas the MRB Group has recommended hiring a special inspection testing agency for this project, and whereas Whitestone Associates Engineering and Geology, New York, has provided the town with a quote for the required soil testing, concrete testing, and masonry inspections. Therefore, be it resolved that the special inspections testing contract for this project hereby is awarded to Whitestone Associates Engineering and Geology, New York, for an amount not to exceed $3,858.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign recreation contracts.
So moved.
Second.
This authorizes the town supervisor to sign 6 recreation contracts and there for 6 different individuals to be referees for the Summer Youth Soccer League.
Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
I will just note that Supervisor Drawe's name is not on this resolution for the vote, so I will be adding that.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, really.
Drawe.
Aye.
Kohl.
Thank you.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Thank you. We have, board, is there any old business? Seeing none, board, I know we have, is there any new business? None, we have no executive session after this meeting. Our next meeting will be on July 5th, 2023. And before I adjourn this meeting, there is something, an announcement here that I would like to make that I wanted to make during public comments rather, and announcements. As many of you know, we're experiencing a very dry stretch of weather in our area. Our local firefighters have already responded to several calls for brush and grass fires, which have become a danger to life and property as a result of this dry weather. In talking with our fire marshal, we thought it was important that we explore ways to mitigate risk to our community as we navigate the lack of rainfall we have received. With that said, at the direction of the Penfield Fire Marshal, I'm announcing a ban on outdoor burning for 2 weeks. The ban will take effect tomorrow and run through Thursday, June 22nd. The ban does not, and I repeat, does not include outdoor grilling. This is not something we take lightly, and I really appreciate the sensitivity of a local government placing any undue regulations on our residents. But this is done with one goal in mind, and that is public safety. The ban will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. So I do appreciate the cooperation of the community in this, and I encourage anyone who might have questions to call our fire marshal at 340-8643. Yes.
And
Thank
to
you.
be clear, that includes no campfires.
Right, campfire, exactly. It's campfires, bonfires, but again, this does not include using your grill outside in your home residence. Okay, with that being said, I will adjourn this meeting at 8:01 p.m. So thank you, have a very safe night, and be wary of the smoke and haze in the air. Thank you.